This is SJ Talks in Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I noticed that there is a lot of people that are still very passionate about the Roe versus Wade decision. A lot of people are very upset about it. Still very, very upset. A lot of people feel like their rights are being taken away. But I've been meditating, marinating on this issue. I did a couple of other videos talking about it, and I may link them up to this one. But these are mostly my final thoughts on the Roe versus Wade situation. A lot of people are upset about it because they feel like their rights are being violated. Women, they said it sets women's rights back and this and that and the other. However, I'm pro-life. I'm pro, I look at it like this. My thought is, people, why are you getting mad? People are getting angry because the law will not let you kill a baby. Think about it. Think about it. Let that sink in. Let that sink into your spirit. I'm not trying to sway anybody either way. I'm not trying to make people feel bad or anything. But I'm not trying to sway. Not trying to force people to believe what I believe. Not doing that. That's not my intention. But this is just to give you something to think about. Because this is something I was meditating on. People are upset because the law now says that you cannot take an innocent baby's life. So you're basically upset because you can't kill a baby. People are upset because they can't kill a baby. And they keep saying, what about women's rights? I keep hearing all this stuff about women's rights, women's rights, women's rights, women's rights. Okay. What about the rights of that unborn child? What about the rights of the unborn baby? Some states was allowing third trimester abortions. They were allowing third trimester abortions. In the third trimester, the baby is fully formed. The baby is fully formed. Everything is there in the third trimester. In a lot of states, they called it partial birth abortion. And it's horrific. It is horrific. I don't even want to talk about it. It's horrific what they do to the baby. And then this, I don't understand. Even the Bible speaks on if you kill an unborn, if you kill a pregnant woman, if you injure or kill a pregnant woman, then you are to be held accountable for both that woman's death and the baby's. Even the Bible, there is scriptures in the Bible that talks about that. So even now, I think just recently, not long ago, someone killed a pregnant woman, and they're getting them on 2 counts of homicide. So why is it, if it's not a life until birth, that's what some people try to say to justify it, killing an unborn baby. If it's not a life until birth, then why is it that when you kill a pregnant woman, that person is going to be charged with 2 homicides if it's not a life until birth? Answer me that question. Okay, so it's a life at the time of conception. By the time the woman goes to the abortion clinic, before she even realizes that she's pregnant, she's already a few weeks into the pregnancy. By the time she makes a decision on what she wants to do, she's about 2 or 3 months along in the pregnancy. By that time, the baby has nerve endings, a beating heart, nerve endings. They can feel pain. The brain starts to form and everything like that. Okay, so it is a life. Because people want to say it's not a life to justify murdering an innocent unborn child. It is a life. It's a life in there. And that life has rights. People can say what they want to say to justify it. That life, that unborn life, does have rights. And this is what the law is starting to acknowledge. Law is starting to acknowledge the fact that that unborn child does have rights. I mean, I happen to think that there's some other reasons why they're reversing that decision, but I talked about it in another video, because you know, the government really don't do anything without an agenda. But that's neither here or there. So basically, people are upset because they can't kill a baby, and the problem was women were using abortion as a form of birth control. They were using it as a form of birth control. We're not talking about a medical situation, but women were using it as a form of birth control. They were going in, you know, and having multiple abortions for birth control, simply because they didn't want the responsibility of taking care of a baby. Women were having multiple abortions. And so it is not a form of birth control. People were using it as a form of birth control. It is not a form of birth control. And that unborn child does have rights, regardless of whether people feel like the unborn child has rights or not. They do. They do have rights. And contrary to what people want to believe, they say, well, this is my body. But technically, it's not our body. It's God's body. God owns us. He owns us. You know? He owns us. I mean, we don't have ownership of ourselves. He owns us. And if anything, I think this is going to prompt more people to be more responsible. Reversing Roe versus Wade is going to prompt people to be more responsible. People are going to start being more responsible. Women are going to be more selective of who they choose to lay down with. Men are going to think twice before they choose to lay down with. Well, it was never the man's decision anyway, you know. It was always the decision to terminate always fall on the woman. But this decision, I think, will be good, because in that sense, women will start to think twice before, when they lay with someone, that they don't want to be the father of their child, or if they're not ready for a pregnancy, unplanned pregnancy. They will think twice, because the truth is, God created sex for procreation. That's what he created it for. And he wanted us to have it within the context of marriage. He wants us to have sex in the context of marriage. And a lot of people are having sex outside of marriage. And they're having it with people that they're not even in a relationship with. And then I'm not saying all cases, but some cases. And then they're getting pregnant, and then they're going to terminate. They want to terminate the pregnancy because they don't want the responsibility. And then they say, well, I can't afford it, or whatever. A lot of women say that, you know. But I say God is able. I say God is able. God makes a way. Both of my children were unplanned, and God made a way for us. He made a way. He made a way for me and my two sons. And I raised them primarily by myself, you know. So he made a way. So God makes a way. He makes a way out of no way. So that can't be no longer used as an excuse to go get an abortion. Because if two people lay there and get the baby, then you should be man enough and woman enough to take care of that baby. If you were woman enough to lay there and get it, then you need to be woman enough to bring forth the child and take responsibility. It's going to make people take more responsibility and all that, you know. So yeah, basically The law basically, it means that, you know, you don't have the right to take an unborn child's life. That's basically what the law is saying now. The law is acknowledging the rights of the unborn child, and that people, the law is determining that people no longer have the right to take an unborn child's life. It is what it is. That child has rights too. That baby has rights. And so the baby should have rights. You know, they don't get a vote either way. So, like I said, I'm not here to make nobody feel bad or make people believe what I believe or whatever situation. Hey, this is my channel. I'm just shedding further thoughts on the situation. And people getting upset, well, you're basically getting mad because you can't kill a child. Let that sit in your spirit. Yeah, that's what it boils down to. You're upset because you can't kill a child, because you can't kill a baby. So it is what it is. All right, hit the like button if you like this video. Be nice in the comment section. If you don't agree with me, you know what to do. Move on. These are my thoughts, my views. It is what it is. All right. Hit the subscribe button, like and share. Be blessed.